Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital. Hope you're all doing great, and welcome to this new video here on Solana. Wanted to do a full update on the the technical situation here. It's well, it might be interesting to keep an eye on the fundamentals as well. As most of you know, and if you're new to the channel, then now you do know, I try to keep an eye on everything surrounding Solana. It's one of the coins I keep an eye on the most, including the activity on the network itself. Right. So here you can see. Let's take the last 3 months, or let's say year to date. Most important, in my opinion, is always TVL. TVL is growing. That's in line with the price action. So does that really matter that much? No. But also DEX trading volumes, and I have to say, DEX trading volumes this last week have been pretty good. We hit $3.3 billion at some point of time, and these numbers are not 100% accurate, to be fair, but they do. I mean, look, they use the same method to track all of this, right? So that's so what that means is that it's still trustworthy. Like the relative values are still very trustworthy. The absolute values, like if it's really $3.3 billion or $4 billion or $2 billion, doesn't matter. The proportion in comparison to other days, that's correct. But great. I mean, that was the highest we've seen since March the 2nd. So pretty major, and that's obviously when we had some major news. So fundamentals are good. Technicals are also still good, even though short term I'm leaning to be slightly bearish here on Solana, right? But I'll tell you why. But like I said, fundamentally, there's a little bit of push coming from that. We also, you know, as time goes by, I think the probability of a Solana ETF getting closer is also increasing. So that would be, I think most estimates right now are for Q3, Q4 or something. Of a potential Solana ETF, but that's too early to talk about it right now. But that does have an effect on the price as well. But all right, talking about Solana here, so we're still within this major range right here, as you can see, between 170 and 120. We've been able to bounce successfully here from the bottom. Then we've been able to break above the 7-day rolling VWAP here, where we also have a point of control at 144. So that's good. So therefore I'm still bullish as long as we're holding 144, and we've been talking about that since last week Tuesday and last week in the weekend as well, right? I mean, there we also said 144, that's the main level. Break above that and we can rally higher. For me, that's the same vice versa, right? As long as we hold 144, we're fine. That's where most of the liquidity is, not on the chart right here. So the visible range volume profile doesn't apply here. But that is where a lot of liquidity is. But on the lower time frames, what you can see is that we had a 90-day rolling VWAP right here. So that's major resistance around, well, it's obviously shifting. But we broke above that right here, but then we turned it into a fake out. Then we dropped down below the 90-day rolling VWAP. Very good dynamic resistance, by the way. It's very good to use. Drop down below that, and right now market is also pulling back slightly, or at least Solana is underperforming against Bitcoin. So therefore, I'd say it's most likely we will pull back into that level right here. We have a fair value gap at 148. Maybe we'll find some support there, but ultimately I think we'll drop down to 144, 145, find support there, and from there, as long as the market circumstances stay similar as to what they are right now, which we will ultimately find out in the next 48 hours, I think that move into 165 is still most likely, even though you should be aware that altcoin indices, so if you take a look at others, for example, that's at major resistance, right? So this move is definitely not a guarantee, but at this point of time, technically and fundamentally, it is most likely. So those are my thoughts. I think that's what you need to know. For now, have a great weekend. Take care. And bye.